Greetings. Welcome back to Ham Radio Test and Review. My name is Dave. My call sign is N8DAV, and I live in Flagstaff, Arizona. The motto for my channel is one test is worth 1,000 expert opinions. First, I have to apologize for the neighbor's dog. It's just yapping incessantly, and I don't understand why, but dogs will be dogs. Anyway, I'm going to be testing an HT today, and I'll kind of leave you on the lurch for a few seconds so you can try and guess and see which HT this is. I'll be right back. So basically, everybody knows I'm a Baofeng fan. I'm also a fan of other radios as well. I own more Baofengs than any of the other types of radios, but you know, that's because they make so many more. Anyway, I have a new radio. I've decided to expand my horizons a little bit, and I have what was known as a Quansheng UV-K5, and this is the rubber duck antenna that comes with it. And I've kind of grown to like this radio a little bit. I've been working with it now. I've been testing it. I've been using it for my own personal uses. I've been using it for some of the testing that I do here on the channel. It's a pretty neat little radio. It's a champ of a radio. So I have to kind of give it a thumbs up, at least for what I've done with it so far. But I haven't really tested it for all the things that we test here on the channel. So I'll be putting it through its paces today. And I'll be right back with all the specifications. Now, this is for the Quansheng UV-K5. It's a dual band, 2 meter, 70 centimeter radio. The stated power is 5 watts. It's advertised as having quite a few features. First of all, it's got the NOAA emergency weather receiver, USB-C charging, fast copy, 1 channel, act as frequency meter for some devices, wireless replication, AM and FM aviation band receiving, frog sound tail signal. I haven't touched that one. I'm not sure I want to, but I might try it just to have a little fun. Crossband intercom. I have tried this, and I'll get back to you about that a little bit later in the video. The power on password supports chirp programming, which it does, and it works fine in that respect. DTMF tones, 10 group scrambler. That's for, of course, having encryption, which is not legal on the ham bands, but if you're using it for business, you can do that. Emergency alert, FM radio. Once again, type C charging or base charger, multi-scan, CTCSS and DCS codes, one key call channel, jack light, which of course is another name for a flashlight. It holds up to 200 channels. It supports wide and narrow band. It has a 1600 milliamp hour lithium ion battery, and it's supposed to cover VHF frequencies from 144 to 148 and from 450 to 520. Now, it came to me locked for GMRS. However, it's very easy to unlock it. So I'm sure you'll find lots and lots of videos out there. If you would like me to post how to do it in the comments section, I'll be happy to do that. I don't think I'm going to make a video of how to do that since there's so many of them out there. And it does transmit on GMRS frequencies, or at least into my dummy load after I unlocked it. It has dual monitor, which is, of course, a single receiver that monitors 2 different frequencies, but still one at a time. It just goes back and forth between the 2. It's supposed to do crossband repeating. And I have to tell you, I did try that because I do a lot of crossband repeating. And on my radio, it didn't work properly. I got it to work for a little bit, and then it stopped working. So I'm not sure why. I'm not sure what's going on with it. I'll try it again, but I don't think it's working on my particular radio. And by the way, the crossband repeating is in a single direction only. It only receives on one frequency and only transmits on another. So in other words, you can use it as a crossband repeater in one direction only. So if you're transmitting, let's say, on a VHF frequency and your friend is receiving on UHF frequency, he cannot go back and do the same thing with you. So it's pretty useless, in my opinion, to have a one-way crossband repeater. It's I all the crossband repeater I put together are all duplex, not simplex, or at least not single direction. And so, you know, it is what it is. Now, in the contents of the box, because I don't like to do unboxing videos, there was a label in the back of the radio stating that it is a UV-K5. So it's not like Baofeng that says it's one thing and then the label says it's something else. The battery, again, is 1600 milliamp hours. It comes with the cradle charger with a wall wart with a USB cable, which does allow you to charge via USB directly, except for one thing. There is no USB port on the battery itself. The USB port is on the radio. So in order to charge the battery using a USB, you have to have it connected to the radio. The belt, it does come with a belt clip, and that's mounted to the battery, not to the frame of the radio. Most of you know I kind of despise that. It's not something that I particularly care for, because now if you want 2, 3, 4 batteries, you also have to buy 2, 3, 4 belt clips to go with each one. You don't have to, but I don't know about you, but I don't want to be, if I'm changing out batteries, I want to be able to do it quick and easy. I don't want to have to also change out the belt clip if I'm using one. The instructions that came with it, 18 pages, and actually mostly good English. All the menu items were in there, even though they're still not very, how do you say it, not very easy to understand. But having all the features stated in the instructions is a very good feature for the instructions, because if you don't know how to configure your radio, you still don't know how to configure it. You just know what the configurations are. It is very, very, very tiny print. I have to tell you, I sometimes I have bifocals, and even with bifocals, I had a hard time reading this. So I had to take my glasses off and put it right up to my face so I could read some of the things on there, just to let you know. I'll leave a link to the radio. I bought it off of Amazon. It's an affiliate link for transparency purposes. I make very little money off of this, but if you want to buy one, if you would click on my link and then buy it, it helps support my channel. I get like 30 cents for every $10 somebody spends. So, it's not a lot of money, but every little bit helps. I do appreciate it. The frequencies now again specified are 144 to 148 on the VHF and 420 to 450 on the UHF. And of course, it was very easy to unlock and make it so it can transmit on the GMRS frequencies as well. Now, the controls that come with the radio is you got this nice large orange and black on-off volume knob. However, I have to say, one of the terrible features on this is that it doesn't have much of a detent on the on-off part of it. It's very, very easy to rub up against and turn something on or change the volume, especially if you're expecting to have the volume turned up like you're out in the field, and you rub it up against something, and next thing you know, the volume is almost all the way down. You can't hear anything, and you don't know that it's happened. There are no other knobs on there. The display is LCD. It's kind of a light blue background. I don't know if you can really see it here in the sunlight, but you can see it in the sunlight, and that's the great thing about these monocolor LCD screens, that they're very easy to see. It's supposed to be a white background, but it's kind of a light blue background. And it does have dual band display capabilities. It doesn't really wash out in the sun. There's also a menu button, an exit, and up and down arrow keys on it. All the numeric keys are alphanumeric, and so they also have alternate functions associated with them, as well as having one key that you push that has a big F on it. So when you want to do one of the functions on one of the alphanumeric keys, then you can use the function that's associated with that key. It comes with an SMA male connector for the antenna. Of course, the USB charging port is on the radio only. It comes with a charging cradle and other features stated in the instructions that are kind of easy to follow. I mean, if you can read it, it's easy to follow. All right. After I unlocked the radio, I found that, generally speaking, the frequency limits were 108 megahertz to 600 megahertz. Now, I didn't try to transmit on any of the illegal frequencies. Of course, if I did, it would only be on a dummy load, but um, it does have a good reception on most bands, but I will tell you it does receive on the air band, and air band reception is just awful. It's not so much that the reception of it is awful, it's that the modulation is just terrible. The converter that converts it from FM to AM is just terrible. It's not good at all. So if you're buying this to listen to airband, forget it. I wouldn't even bother. If you're going to use it for other things, it's a terrific little radio. It's about the same size as a UV-5R, maybe slightly larger. It's about the same weight, maybe just a tad bit heavier because of the bigger battery. But because of that, the battery does last longer. It does last very long on this radio. I probably used it for about a day and a half, 2 days, and that's when the battery finally went down. For the power, it has low, medium, and high power settings on each band. What I'll be doing is I'll also be testing the rubber duck antenna that it comes with for SWR, and just so we know how good or how bad the supplied antenna might be with it. The reception and clarity, close and distant, is pretty decent. It's actually pretty good for a little tiny radio. I think it's a little bit better than the UV-5R, but again, that's not saying a whole hell of a lot. Transmission range, about the same as any other radio. It puts out between 4 and 5 watts, and I will be doing a power test on the radio as well today. You can program from the front controls. I've done quite a bit of it. It's fairly easy. If you're used to Baofangs, though, you'll find that all the features that this has, similar to Baofeng or features that Baofangs don't come with, it's hard to know what they are because they use a different nomenclature for their features than Baofeng does. So you just have to get to know what their nomenclature is. You can program it with Chirp, of course. Chirp is a free program that you get off the internet, and it works really well. So my general impression so far of the radio, again, seems like good quality, sturdy. It's held up to, I don't do big drop tests, but I do little drop tests that just to see if it knocks anything loose or knocks anything on or off or anything like that. And it does a good job of not being affected by that. And like I said, it's worked inside and out every day for me. And I've done a lot of different things with it, including putting it on a simplex parrot repeater for a little while and testing it that way, and it worked just fine. Anyway, that's it for all the specifications and my initial impressions. Next time you see me, I'll be doing all the testing on the radio. We'll be right back. All right, here we have the antenna from the Quansheng UV-K5, and as you can see, it says U/V antenna. And then if I turn it around, on the other side, it says A8. So I'm not sure what that means, but at least we have a model number for the antenna. All right, I'm back here in the shack, and I've got my SWR meter set up. I have my antenna, HT antenna test bed set up. I've already set up my baseline using a signal stick. Made sure that I have SWR of 1.2 or less on 2 meters and 70 centimeters. So let's try the 2 meter test first, and see what the SWR on the stock antenna is. And on the rubber duck antenna, we have an SWR of 3.52 on the 2-meter band. All right, we're going to now do the stock rubber duck antenna test for the UV-K5 on the 70 centimeter band. And we come up with 1.31 SWR. Now, the 1.31 SWR and the high SWR on the 2-meter band kind of shows that the antenna is tuned more for 70 centimeter and the UHF frequencies than the 2-meter band. And for you-know-what and giggles, let's test this antenna on the GMRS band, see how well or how bad it does. And we get an SWR of 1.41 to 1. It obviously shows that this antenna is tuned more to the high end, the UHF frequencies, than the VHF frequencies. And now the power output on the 2-meter band is 4.20 watts. All right, now we're going to have the power output on the UV-K5 on the 70 centimeter band. And that's 4.91 watts. All right, this is the power testing for the UV-K5 on the GMRS band channel 16. And we come up with 4.22 watts. Alrighty then. I'm out here at my favorite park, Fox Glen Park, and I'm out here to test my Quansheng UV-K5. And I'm going to test it with the rubber duck that it comes with, and we'll see if I can get out to my repeater or not. See if my repeater can get back. All right, let's try this. Now, by the way, this park, I specifically come here because it's approximately 2.6 to 3.0 miles. It depends upon where in the park I'm at. I think I'm closer to the 3-mile mark than the 2.6. But I can actually almost see the top of the trees where my house is from here. So the only thing I have blocking me really is probably some forests and maybe the top of a house or something. But other than that, I should have close to line of sight with my base station antenna. So let's try it. Let's see how it gets out. This is WSBX662 testing 1, 2, 3, 4.
WSBX662, testing 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, all right. It got out with the rubber duck antenna. And it was very staticky, but it was very clear. You could still hear it. So that's pretty good, I think. So, but I also decided to do another little test just to add on to this. And I'll be right back. I'll show you what that is. Okay, here we are. I've got the Quansheng UV-K5, and guess what? I have a signal stick on it. So let's try it. Let's see how it works. WSBX662, testing 1, 2, 3, 4.
WSBX662, testing 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, we still had static, but I don't know if you could tell, but it wasn't quite as much as with the rubber duck, which just goes to show you a little bit better antenna will get you out with a little bit better signal and receive a little bit better as well. All right, that was my little add-on for you guys for the day. And so when you see me again, I'll be back at my shack out on the deck, enjoying the sunshine, and I'll sum up everything about this radio and all the things that I like and what I don't like. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, well, had some interesting things happen. First of all, let me go through the antenna testing that we did. First of all, I'm going to assume the manufacturer of the antenna is Quansheng, though I'm sure they get it from somebody else. The model number for the antenna is A-8. It's a 2-band antenna, 7¼ inches long, rubberized whip type antenna, and it's specified to work on the 2-meter and 70 centimeter band, and I could not find any gain or any other type of specifications for it. So it wasn't specified as being resonant or being a specific wavelength. I wanted to tell you also that I tested the SWR Again, we got 3.56 on the 2-meter band, 1.31 on the 70 centimeter band, and 1.41 on the GMRS band, which is, excuse me, excuse me, which is not bad for a rubber duck original equipment manufacturer type antenna, but it's not great either. So, but you can understand why these rubber duck antennas don't work really all that well. So we had that. Um, However, oh, and just let me also state that I did a power output test on the radio, as we all know. On the 2-meter band, it was 4.20 watts on high power. 70 centimeter was 4.9 watts on high power, and on GMRS, it was 4.27 watts on high power. So those are actually pretty good for a 5-watt radio. That's pretty standard, nothing spectacular there. So what did we learn about the Quansheng UV-K5 radio today? Well, first of all, we learned that it is a feature-rich radio that does what it's supposed to do. I mean, these radios don't perform miracles, but they do perform a lot of things. They have a lot of features to them. And this particular radio has got probably a few more features and more modern features than the ubiquitous Baofeng UV-5R. So it's probably a much more modern, up-to-date version of the UV-5R, which means that it's pretty bulletproof. I mean, it's not perfect by any means, and I'll tell you what I don't like about the radio when we get to that point. So it's got a lot of features. It does exactly what it says it's going to do. You can read the screen in bright sunlight. It's loud enough. I don't remember the wattage on the amplifier, but it's loud enough for normal outside use. And it's small. It's light. It carries well. You know, here's the radio itself, and I kind of like the big orange knob on here, though. The cons, the detent on here is very, very minor. And so it's very easy to turn it on by accident or turn it off by accident. Um, Probably why they put this little thing on the side here to try and keep you from rubbing up against it, because it's very, very light. It really needs maybe I'm thinking about maybe trying to put a little bit of a rubber gasket or rubber grommet underneath the knob here to see if it might make it a little bit tighter. I'm afraid it'll probably make it too tight, but you know, we can always play around with it and see what we can do. That's one big gripe. The next big gripe is that the what do you call it? The repeater, the crossband repeater function, did not work correctly. I tried it where channel A was supposed to transmit, and it didn't work. I tried it where channel B was supposed to transmit, it didn't work. And also the configuration for turning it on and off is when you go into the menu, I think it's like 17 or 18, it's WX, which to me stands for weather. So when I first went through the menu without the instructions, I thought, oh, I can turn the weather radio on and off, and and have the emergency signal come on or off. You know, if you get the emergency weather alerts. Well, guess what? It's not weather. It's the crossband repeater. So, of course, I had to go look it up to see how to turn on the crossband repeater function. And of course, when I tried it, it just didn't work. The worst part about it is I forgot to turn the crossband repeater back off. And so it wasn't working as a normal radio. It was transmitting, but it wasn't receiving. So I'm like, oh, what did I do to it now? And it turns out that I just left the crossband repeater on. And anyway, so it works fine. It gets out, and as you heard in the modulation distance test that with the rubber duck, it got all the way out to my repeater at my base, approximately 2.6 to 3 miles away, and the repeater came back, and there was quite a bit of static. However, I could still understand everything that was being said. It wasn't 100% clear, but it was clear enough to where if you were talking with somebody else at that distance, you'd still be able to understand them with the static. So that's pretty good. I think anytime you've got an HT talking to another HT, even though I'm using a base station antenna for one of them, uh, it, I think that's pretty good. I know the UV5R or the M5R, as they say, the model that I did the last test on, it worked pretty good too. So, but I used a signal stick with that instead of the standard rubber duck that came with it. So, anyway, um, I think all these radios and all these antennas, they perform similarly. The ones that are outstanding, of course, I will point those out to you, and I'll be doing a couple of very outstanding ones here shortly. I've been playing with a UV Pro, which is an excellent, excellent radio. I mean, considering it's from China, I consider it to be almost up there with the Japanese. I know, heresy, heresy, you're gonna blast me in the comments. I don't care. You can also go watch cat videos as far as I'm concerned. So anyway, I think it's an excellent radio. The next one I hope to be getting, I think it's lost in the mail at the moment, is the new Wushan or Ocean, whatever you want to call it. I think it's called the UVPX9 P Plus. So I'm excited to get that radio and try it out as well. It's supposed to be a great radio as well, so we'll see. Dual super heterodyne receivers on that particular radio. I'm excited to be able to have true dual monitor capabilities, not the kind of dual monitor these little cheaper ones have, where they have single pass filter type receiver, and the dual monitor is it's just flipping back and forth between the channels to see which one has some sort of traffic on it. So that's not really true dual monitor, but it suffices for what most of us need. I've graduated to super heterodyne dual receivers, so sorry, I'm spoiled. Anyway, well, I'll get into those two, and then I'm hoping to maybe pick up another, a little more expensive Chinese radio, and then a couple of Japanese radios as well, and test them on my channel here. I also have a TID Radio TD-H8 Generation 2, which I've had for quite a while. I haven't tested it yet, reviewed it yet. I know it's a little late. We got the Generation 3 out already, but I don't see much of a difference between the two radios, to be honest with you, except for maybe airband. I've got the Quansheng UV-K6 also, which is also a terrific little radio like the UV-K5 here. So I'll be reviewing those, and I think there's one or two others which I haven't done a review on. Oh yeah, the Baofeng UV-32 and the Baofeng UV-25. I've got those as well. I'm kind of holding off on those, but I'll probably end up doing those here pretty quick too. Anyway, my name is Dave. My channel is called Ham Radio Test and Review. My motto for my channel is one test is worth 1,000 expert opinions. And my call sign is N8DAV from Flagstaff, Arizona, saying 73s and so long.